Hey guys, this is Jason Morris with Real Estate Agents That Really Work. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like my videos. So I'm sitting here, I was sitting at home and I was thinking while I was on vacation last week and stuff. You know, a, a lot of you guys, you said 2017 was going to be your year. The 2016, you didn't do as well as you thought. You didn't hit your goals. You didn't prospect as much. You didn't take as many listings. You didn't make as much money as you wanted. We're leaving 2016, going into December. You guys were, subscribing to things like RedX, eBuyer, things like that. You said, hey, 2017 is going to be my year. I'm just waiting for 2016 to get over. And so I was thinking about that because I was looking around and a lot of you guys that were stuck in 2016, it's 2017, it's the end of February, and you guys are, you know, for a lot of you, 2017 is not going like you wanted it to go. Um, you didn't hit your goal in January. February's over, you hadn't hit your goal in February. And so I started thinking and I started writing down some ideas and um, and I wanted to share these ideas with you guys because you guys have the power right now, yeah, and you have the time to turn 2017 around. We've got 10 more months. I mean, we have 300 more days in the year for you guys to turn things around, hit your goal, exceed your goals even. But you gotta act kind of quick. And you got to change what you're doing. If what you're doing right now isn't working, you have to make a conscious decision to change what you're doing. So I wrote down 8 things, and I want to share them with you. The problem often that a lot of us have is just distractions, and I'm guilty of this too. Even while I was writing down these ideas, my cell phone would ring, or I'd see it flashing, or my email and stuff, and I'd want to look at it, or I'd see something on Facebook, and next thing I know, 30 minutes have passed by, and I haven't done anything. Or it's an email, and you say, hey, let me stop what I'm doing, email this back real quick, or text this person back, and next thing you know, an hour has passed, and you never got back to doing what you were supposed to be doing. So honestly, most of us would rather do anything else than what we are supposed to actually be doing. So here are the 8 things we need to work on, and we need to start doing to get 2017 back on track. Number one, we've got to lower our distractions. You've got to turn off your notifications on your cell phone, put it on silent when you're prospecting. You know, oftentimes prospecting, I'll see a number pop up on my cell phone and I go, oh my God, I got to take this call. This is super important. And then I take the call the last 5 minutes, and then it takes me 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get back on the phone and start doing what I was doing, and I lost a third of my prospecting time. You know, and those things that are, that you do need full focus for. What I do is I try to get up earlier. I mean, the way I'm able to do these videos and stuff for you guys and do the recordings and stuff that you listen to on my YouTube channel is I do them like 6 o'clock in the morning. If I want to record something or I want to share something with you guys and it doesn't happen before like 8 in the morning, it's not going to happen because the morning's going to be really busy. I'm super productive in the morning, and then my afternoon is going to be just busy too. And after 6 or 7 o'clock, I don't want to do anything, you know. But we need to lower our distractions, and during our prospect time that we've got scheduled, we need to actually focus on prospecting. During your prospecting time, the most important thing you can be doing is prospecting. The funny thing is about the real estate industry is there are no true emergencies. If somebody's dying, they need to call an ambulance, and if a house is on fire, they need to call the fire department. If one of those things are happening and they're calling you, man, and and your other job isn't a doctor or a firefighter, then everybody's got a lot more problems than what they think about. But we need to lower our distractions. Number two, we need to practice good management of our daily schedule. And we're all guilty of this. We time block, we go through, we build our schedule, you know, And then we go, oh, you know what? I don't feel like making calls today. Or I don't feel like following up today. Or, oh man, I made 5 phone calls and, two people were mean to me. You know, we need to practice managing our daily schedule and focusing on our daily schedule. If if your schedule and your routine is one thing and you're often getting off a track, maybe you need to change your daily schedule to meet those needs. that you have that are reoccurring all the time. If you got to take the kids to school, if you're supposed to be prospecting from 8 to 11, but that you got to take the kids to school at 8:30, you need to plan your prospecting time around that. But we got to practice good management of our daily schedule and actually working the days we have scheduled ourselves to work. We're all guilty of having a friend go, hey, you want to do this, you're going to do that, you want to meet me at the gym at 10 a.m. And we got to practice going, I'm sorry, I have to work. If you had any other job and you were scheduled to work, you would have to actually show up and work. And if you didn't show up and work and you didn't have a very, very good excuse for 2, 3 days in a row, then you would be fired. You would have to look for another job. We've got to practice good management of our daily schedule. Number 3, we got to work on finding buyers and sellers every day. Now, preferably, I'd like to find more sellers than buyers, but here's the thing. Our job isn't hard, and I say job because this is what this is. Our job is to go out there and help people buy houses and help people sell houses. Our job is to find buyers and sellers every day. I mean, our business is pretty easy. If you want to work with more sellers, you just need to talk to more sellers. If you want to work with more buyers, you just got to talk to more buyers. And the thing is, sellers are easy to find because a lot of them that we're working with and we're talking to, they actually had a sign up in their front yard at some point saying that they wanted to sell, and for whatever reason, they didn't sell. So we got to work on finding buyers and sellers every day. Number 4, I can't stress this one enough, but you have to practice very strong lead follow up. You guys, I promise you, if you start following up and you start following up aggressively on a higher level, and a lot of agents, they think, oh, I made 3 calls to that person, they didn't call me back. The truth is sometimes you make 30 calls to that person, they don't call you back. But you have to start following up on a higher level. I created a follow-up app because I was having trouble. I was losing people that I knew wanted to leave to list their house. I created an app that would actually allow me to keep up with those people better. You can try it out. It's jasonmorrisfollowupmaster.com. But you are losing transactions right now because you are not following up with people. You are meeting people. You guys, I guarantee you guys are going to people's houses. You're talking to them about selling their house, right? You're going on the listing appointment. And then at the end of the appointment, they say, well, guys, I want to think about it. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. And you guys are leaving the house, and then you're never calling those people back. You're never following up with them and saying, hey, Mr. Seller, this is Jason Morris. We met last Tuesday. So when you want me to start working for you? What are you guys planning on doing? Did you guys have any questions? So what's happening is you spent all that time getting an appointment, going to the appointment, getting ready for it and everything. And then because you didn't get the paperwork signed right then, you're just not calling them back. And I guarantee you right now, if you practice strong lead follow-up, you will double the amount of money that you made last year. You'll double the amount of listings that you're getting and you're taking currently. So number 5, okay, we've got to start pre-qualifying every buyer and seller appointment. And now, I know I talk about a lot of newer agents, especially what they're doing is they're over-qualifying listing appointments. They're trying to make sure that when they show up, they're going to get the paperwork signed, and you're not going to list it over the phone. Okay, so let me get back on track here. I was getting a little bit off track, but you want to be taking listings, but a lot of us work with buyers too, and it's okay. But we need to start asking questions, and we need to get better at asking questions. You need to look at do they just want to buy a house, or do they have to buy a house? Do they just think they want to sell their house? Like, hey, if I can get 150 for it, I'll sell it. Or do they have to sell their house? Like, have they been transferred for a job? Have they, they have to move for whatever reason. They need to move up. They need to move down. The house is too big. The house is too little. They're a payment behind. You need to start identifying the have to versus the want to. Like, there's a lot of things I'll talk about I want to do, but really I don't have to, so they never really are going to happen. But buyers or sellers, and sellers are like this too. Like, if it's a buyer, do they have to buy because a lease is ending? Do they have to buy because they want their kids to go to a certain school? Do they have to buy because whatever reason it is? But you need to practice asking better questions and narrowing things down to, do they have to do this? Do they have to buy or sell? Or do they just want to buy or sell? And you want to work with the have to buy and sell. So number 6, how good is your listing process? You know, I see a lot of agents, they don't really have any process at all. And that's why I've created that whole series that's free, called FSBO Master. It's Jason Morris, FSBOmaster.com is the playlist. So, and what I mean by my listing process, your listing process, you know, I'm giving away my pre-listing package. Are you actually using a pre-listing package? Are you using a net sheet? Do you have a pricing strategy? When you show up to the house, are you just taking random comps that and then just kind of fumbling your way through it, or do you have a real strategy at how you came up with the price on their home? A net sheet. A lot of objections can be overcome by having and using a net sheet that's simple to use. And I mean, I use mine all the time, and I've got a lot of videos about how using that net sheet to overcome things like commission and things like that. But that net sheet's a powerful, powerful tool at showing people what they're going to get for their house. You know, are you showing up to the listing presentation ready to do business? And what I mean by this is, I see a lot of agents and they go, "Oh, well, I want, I want to make a second trip for the pictures. I want to make I don't take the sign with me because of, I don't know what reason, but, or I don't fill out the listing agreement all the way because I don't want to waste paper." Here's the thing. I mean, most people's listing agreements are pretty standard. Ours is 10 pages. So even if you're printing it out at, Office Max, it's going to cost you what, $1.50 to print it out. I am willing to spend $1.50 on every single listing appointment without hesitation, without a problem. You need to show up to your listing presentations with the listing paperwork filled out, your pricing strategy, everything already mapped out, what you're going to price it for, a copy of everything so you can show people. You need to be super prepared. You need to show up to your listing presentation ready to do business. And if you don't have a listing process or a sales process, is really what it is, you need to listen to my For Sale by Owner Master Series, and you need to put your listing sales process together. You need to evaluate it, and you need to rate yourself. Is it a 1? Is it a 10? I mean, if you guys are talking about it's 10, I'm going to tell you, I probably list more property than you, and I don't feel like mine's a 10. So you can always improve that, and you can always get better. But you need to work on making your listing process better and making your listing presentation better, shortening up your time that you're at houses, making sure that you're going extremely prepared. So number 7, are you using the same script over and over again? Now, the magic in scripts, there isn't a magic question or a magic keyword. And these people going out here saying, "Oh, I'll sell you my script for $20, or I'll sell you my script for however much." Um, you can buy it if you want to, as long as you have confidence in the script. I mean, that's what counts. Sometimes, paying $20 for a script or whatever it is, or $5, maybe that gives you the confidence. But you want to use the same script over and over again, because that's where the power and the magic is in it. Is once you've asked those same questions to 100 sellers, on the phone, you've asked that same those same questions to 1,000 sellers, 2,000 sellers. You're going to get really good at answering at anticipating the answers to those questions and overcoming those objections. But here's the thing: you need to practice your scripts over and over again. Find you a role play partner, and sometimes role play partner, what you're not necessarily working on sometimes is the script, but it's how to handle objections. And you need to get really good at handling objections on a very, very high level. Here's the thing: sellers don't have new objections. When I first started real estate and I first started making calls and I first started calling expireds and for sale owners, commission was always objection. Nobody wants to pay commission. And I mean, can you blame them? Whatever you're charging, if you're charging an average real estate commission of 5 to 7% on a $200,000 house, and that's a lot of money. That's $10,000 to $14,000. I wouldn't want to pay $10,000 to $14,000 either if I was a seller. But you need to get really good at handling those objections, especially those objections like the commission objection. Use your net sheet to overcome that. And last thing, number 8, this is my last thought on 2017 and getting back on track, is we need to get really good at starting every day from zero and starting with the mindset of zero. You might know how it is if you've been in the business for a while. You get those time periods where your business is falling off a little bit. You got a little lazy. All of a sudden, you have a closing, and you realize, like, oh my God, I have nothing else in the pipeline. I have nothing else in the pipeline. Sometimes when our pipeline's full, we got 8, 10 pendings going on, or even 3 pendings going on. We get complacent and we start thinking, hey, I don't need to make calls today, or I don't need to do this today because, I got all this going on. I'm going to make, X number of dollars in the next 30 days. Man, I'm good. I can just coast for a while. Then once those things happen, or once those transactions happen, you realize, like, oh shit, I have nothing else going on right now. And basically, if you don't have any listings and you don't have any pendings, technically, you're out of business. I mean, you're like a gas station that don't have any gas. We need to get really good at starting every day at zero and building that mindset that just because we got, 10 listings, or we got 30 listings, or however many we got, and I'm guilty of this too. Just because we have listings, just because we have pendings, that doesn't mean we can take today off. We got to start every day like we're at zero, and we need to get really good at building that mindset to start every day at zero. And that's how we're going to build our business, and that's how we're going to pick up momentum. And that's what you need to be doing to picking up momentum right now. So if your 2017, so that's number 8. So if your 2017 isn't going like you wanted it to go, send me a message on Facebook and let's talk. I'm looking for agents to work with me in select markets. And, and I know there's a lot of agents struggling. Like 2016, they didn't do what they wanted to do. We're in 2017, and we're 60 days in, and you're still not doing what you want to do. We should talk. And guys, if you're in 2017, you're waking up in the morning, you don't know who to call, you don't know what leads to call, look at RedX and subscribing to lead services. I feel like there's some expenses in the real estate business that you can't get around. I mean, number 1 is MLS. You got to pay your MLS. You got to have insurance. You got to pay certain things like that. But the number 2 thing behind those is we have to have lead sources that are readily available. That way, when we get up in the morning, we don't have to think about anything. We just put on our headset, we push a button, and it starts making calls for us. That's why I use RedX over and over again, and that's why I've been using them for so long. Their data is great, and if you call them and tell them I sent you, they'll waive the $150 setup fee. So guys, if you like this video, give me some feedback on it. Put put some comments. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. If you're not a member of my Facebook group, Real Estate Agents That Really Work, join it. There's some great stuff that goes on in there, some great conversations. And guys, if I can help you with your real estate business, send me a message and let me know. We can set up a time to talk. So guys, have a great day.